Welcome back to Grand Slam Sports Season 2. I'm Charles Foster.
Jace Hodge.
Samuel Gailey. Monday Night Football, I just had to pause there because obviously Robert Saleh did a lot of pausing there on Monday night too. The Jets played the San Francisco 49ers without CMC, and they still got ran over. Charles and Jace, what did you see go wrong in the top 10 defense of the Jets?
I think it was definitely just a case of the D-line was not there. I think Hassan Reddick's hole was very, very noticeable, and the fact that the Jets have not even gone back into talking with him kind of does concern me a little bit, because we allowed a runner to run 146 yards on us, and we have one of the top 5 rushing defenses in the league. That was concerning, and that concerns me against other teams.
I think it's also part of how San Fran has so many weapons. You got Ayuk, you got Debo, you got Kittle. There's so much to focus on that opens up the run game as well. Because you have to focus on the passing game in some respect, because it's one of the top passing games in the NFL. So you have to put some respect on that, and that leads to Mason getting his 140 yards.
But I also think, though, at the same time, is like they ran the ball. They ran the ball. They ran the ball. They ran the ball. They weren't really switching anything up. Purdy didn't have like this amazing flashy game where like he threw to Ayuk. I think he targeted Ayuk 4 times, hit him twice for 28 yards. He didn't have this awesome game in the pass. So if I was a Jets coordinator, I mean, like I do this on Madden all the time. I choose to run heavy defense. Like I switch it up, and I didn't see the Jets necessarily in the second half throw that extra safety in the box, stuff those gaps. Because I mean, to your point, Hassan Reddick's not there. How do you fill those holes when he's not there?
And the issue is we got rid of Huff this offseason, and they got rid of a lot of the D-line, and they thought that Reddick would kind of fill that hole, and obviously he's probably not going to play in a Jets uniform at all. And it makes sense. I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't re-sign him either. But the issue is the replacements that are had, especially in a top passing offense like that. It was obvious that we did not know what to do. The Jets just did not look good this week.
I mean, it's tough because you also get one of the best offenses in the NFL. But looking for the Jets offense, obviously Rodgers played the full game this time except for the last drive because they were getting blown out. But the offense had that really good first drive. But after that kind of fell off. What happened with the offense?
I think the Rodgers and Wilson connection, it showed. And I think that is what I'm excited to see. Breece Hall was stuffed. That normally does not happen to that extent.
Well, I mean, that's the 49ers defense. Let's be honest here. Fred Warner did an excellent job of covering him out of the backfield. Like, to your point right now, I think that's never going to happen again to Breece Hall.
Yeah.
But the 49ers had just as good as a defense as the Jets. And I think Aaron Rodgers looked decent. I think he looked like a guy coming back into it.
Yeah.
I think the flashes were promising on offense, and offense was our biggest issue last year. I think the defense will come. I think it's just the offensive line looked solid. The offense looked good. We'll build from here against the Titans.
Excited to see them next week. I mean, obviously the Pats play you guys coming up here as well. So a lot of matchups to look forward to. Another matchup we were talking about was Thursday Night Football. What were your guys' takes on last night? Dolphins struggling, especially in that opening quarter. 2 of 3 interceptions before leaving the game after a late hit. After running for 7 yards, which I was really surprised that he ran. I thought he was going to slide. He decided to take the hit, and now he pays the price for it. What do you guys think?
You know, I will admit I have not been the biggest fan of the Bills. They traded Stephon Diggs. I thought he was a big part of the reason they were a good team the last few seasons. They've proved me wrong. They went into Miami, a tough place to play at this time of year. I mean, it's a little bit hotter, but they just stifled Miami. They couldn't do anything. The Bills' defense is truly a really good defense. And Josh Allen, he's still Josh Allen. He makes the plays.
With the subtraction of Poyer and Micah Hyde and all those guys.
They're getting up there in age as well, so they're getting some more younger talent. And obviously, we see Damar Hamlin now at starting safety for the Bills. But he's doing a pretty good job out there as well.
Yeah, and I think that the issue with Tua was definitely, some of it was his throw. Some of it, obviously, the first interception was not his fault. But then the other 2, they would just errant throws. One of them, it looked like he was trying to throw it away, didn't get enough on it. The other one, it looked like he tried to get it and got too much.
I think the third one is he was trying to make a play. You saw him on his back foot trying to lob it. I think he was trying to make a play, but that's because, to be honest, the Dolphins looked like they were never in sync that entire. Especially their first touchdown run with the the touchdown throw by Tua. That drive looked beautiful, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a high-scoring game because it went 7-7.
Yeah, and I think the issue with the Bills, and the biggest thing that will be telling for them is how will that receiving room work? It's not an amazing receiving room. I mean, if I know, but James Cook played a phenomenal game.
Yep.
Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. He's
28 points on fantasy.
Exactly. So I think the Bills will be a very interesting team, but I still don't see them winning the division.
And I mean, you don't see them winning the AFC East?
I do not.
Wow. I think right now the favorites. I mean, until someone proves that they aren't, there's no one above them, in my opinion, in the AFC East.
I think once they play a team that is a little bit more disciplined, those flaws will
I would
show.
like to see the real test for any team nowadays is the Chiefs.
Well, yeah,
if the Bills
that's
can
true.
go and beat the Chiefs, then they're in talks of being a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
AFC East, I do agree. I think Bills are going to top this table. Now Tua without Miami without Tua.
And a
struggling Patriots team. I'll be honest, Brissett, not the best. And then a Jets team who's Aaron Rodgers just trying to still get it together a little bit. Josh Allen, if this is not his year, then I think he's a bust.
I personally think that it will be telling, see how they can go against a good defense. I mean, the Dolphins, that's always been their flaw, has been defensively, and it showed. And then offensively, I mean, Tua was the reason that they were struggling, and the O-line. So, I mean, I think if they go against a good defense with a solid offense, those growing pains will show.
Moving on to our next topic of discussion, illegal formations. Illegal formations, quite literally a nod of a head. Quite literally, as we have it right here. You know how many times I saw this in this opening weekend? It makes me want to probably offensive coordinators slam their face into a clipboard. Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Is it too much? Is the league being extra about this or what?
I think the rule is necessary. I do believe that the rule is necessary because we saw, especially with the Chiefs campaign, we saw Jawan Taylor was basically a running back because he was so far back and there was no punishment for it. So I do believe that the rule is good. However, as far as like leniency goes, I feel like there needs to be a little bit of leniency while these players are kind of understanding.
Do you think there should be warnings for the first season? Do you think there should be like 2 or 3 warnings before they start calling it?
I think maybe a warning because I want to say it was over 30 calls of this specific play.
At least 10 in this game, probably.
It was
the Ravens.
It ruins the whole flow of the game, and to me, that is a problem.
I 100% agree. Like you said, I think it's necessary, but and like you said, they need leniency because it's tough to just throw out a rule and players get it on the first week. This is bound to happen. You're bound to see 30, 40 flags this week.
But also, especially these big boys, they got adrenaline going from the last play. The last thing is they're thinking about is where's my head position. Yeah. They're thinking about the other guy across from them and be like, oh my God, we have to do this again. So I
mean, let's look at Ronnie Stanley for a second. One of the older O-linemen in the league. He's an all-pro veteran. He's been playing O-line probably since he could walk. And now you want him to change the way that he's been playing for probably over 20 years. That doesn't happen in week 1. And I believe that was a problem. It just wasn't fun to watch. It just felt like, oh, there's another flag. Yeah. Here we go again. And then it was the same thing over and over again.
New segment, our segment. Really love this segment. We came up with it ourselves. We have Rookie Watch. Interesting. Who's up first? I think it's Charles. Yes, it's Charles. Charles, tell us why you like this guy.
And talking about Rookie Watch, first thing I want to talk about for the first week would be Jared Verse. Now, Jared Verse, he was one of 2, so I'll give an honorable mention to Joe Alt. He played a phenomenal O-line game, but I think it was hard to give an O-lineman the first week. Jared Verse, he leads all rookies in total pressure, 26% pressure. He had 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and he had 4 total tackles and assists. He played phenomenal. And for a team that loses Aaron Donald, to come in and have someone who is power rushing the way that Jared Verse was is a promising sign. FSU may not be the epitome of good college football right now, but last year they were. And I think that Jared Verse and Braden Fisk will be a beautiful combo for this new revamped Rams D-line.
All right, then we'll go to my guy, Adonai Mitchell of the Indianapolis Colts. I know he didn't have the great week, the best week 1. This isn't biased, trust me. But watching the game against the Texans, he had 6 targets from Anthony Richardson, only 1 catch, 2 of which were overthrown balls that would have been deep touchdowns. This guy was open almost the entire game because teams are putting their focus on Pittman and then the deep ball to Alec Pierce. That left him open almost the entirety of the game. There was 1 wide open, and AR just completely missed him in the end zone. Unfortunate, but he was the top target at Texas. People forget that. He was above Xavier Worthy at Texas. And we saw what Worthy could do with the Chiefs. So imagine what A.D. Mitchell can do if AR can actually throw a football Accurate.
And do you think that those growing pains of coming back from injury for AR is a little bit of a concern? How do you think he's going to recover from that?
I mean, it was bound to happen. I mean, he's still the youngest starting quarterback in the NFL at this moment in time. So he's going to miss throws. He's going to have great throws like he had as well. It's going to be a up and down experience. That was bound to happen.
All right, Sam?
My guy, my fantasy quarterback. Dude, I love Jaden Daniels. I really do. I love him. It's not just because he can use his legs. It's because he's got a dual threat. Obviously, all rookie quarterbacks struggled in the opening weekend, but this guy showed promise. He had 184 passing yards, and I think he went like 16 out of 24 pass completions. But also, he had 2 rushing touchdowns with 16 rushes for 50-something yards. I love the versatility on this guy. I was so upset when he was taken above Drake May. I really wanted him to drop to the Patriots just because of this reason. I can't wait to see what he can do with a pretty fresh Commanders team this season.
Of course, and kind of going back on what you said earlier, rookie quarterbacks, they struggled. So now we're going to kind of go and look at what I call the first day jitters. You know that first day of school where you kind of get in there and you're not really feeling yourself.
Exactly. Just trying to find your desk.
Let's kind of talk about those rookie quarterbacks and kind of what we saw. I'll kind of start with Caleb Williams. Personally, Caleb Williams, 93 passing yards. Not exactly an amazing day. What are you kind of feeling towards Caleb Williams to start?
I mean, obviously he was super hyped up coming out of college, one of the biggest prospects we've seen in a long time in terms of, what he's supposed to be. But he had an okay day. They won the ball game. That's all that matters in the end to me. But he was okay, but he'll get there as time progresses.
Caleb Williams, slow start. A lot of rookies, slow start. Bo Nix struggled a little bit as well. But we're going to move into our picks going into the games this weekend. Some pretty good ones, man. So that concludes rookie reports, is what I'm hearing from the producers. My apologies. But pick predictions. First game, who do you got? Lions or Bucks? Who are you guys talking about? I know it's going to be a good one. Baker Mayfield flashed in his first-round pick talents last week.
I think for me, this first game, I'm going to be going with the Lions here. I think that the Buccaneers, they look good. They're a team that I believe has that potential. But I think that the Lions, they're going to show why they went so far last year. I think Jameson Williams had a really good week 1. And St. Brown, he really kind of hit a little bit in the back, but I feel like that'll be fixed. And I believe that the Lions, they'll come out and they're going to take this one.
I got the Bucks here. I got shake and bake. I really think, I think I wrote down Lions initially, but looking at Baker Mayfield's last performance last week, I can't turn down. He probably missed about 2-3 throws in the entire game. Rashad White looked good. Mike Evans walked over everybody. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to struggle to find his footing in this game a little bit like he did last week. And, look at last week. They barely beat the Rams. They had to go to OT for that. So.
But the Rams are a good football team. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they were a playoff team last year. These two met in the playoffs last year. The Lions are at home at Ford Field. I got them winning this one. I love the talent they have. I love the Lions. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he'll be better than he was last week. So give me Detroit at home.
And speaking of Rams and Cards.
Yeah, that's right there. We got it right there. For me, I got the Cardinals winning here. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to flash why he's the first-round pick.
I think I got the Rams here. I think the Rams are the better team. The Rams, they may have had a rough week last week not being able to take it home. However, the Rams, their defense showed potential. I really liked it. And no Puka, so that'll be a little bit interesting to kind of see how they do without him. But I still like the
Cooper Kupp fantasy owners doing backflips.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's great. Tutu Atwell's still a very solid receiver. I like the Rams here.
I agree here. The Rams, I like what I saw out of them in Detroit last week. Stafford is still a really good quarterback, 100%. Oh, yeah. This guy's phenomenal.
He's still elite.
So give me the Rams here. I think Kupp's going to have a big day. I like the Cardinals this year, but not against the Rams.
Struggling Bengals. Oh, no, not the Bengals. Oh, geez. Bears versus Texans. Interesting game here. Caleb Williams, bounce back game. Yes or no, Charles?
I'm going to say yes, bounce back, but no to the win. Okay. I'm saying the Texans are going to take this one. I do believe that Caleb will. I mean, he can't. Is he going
to throw over 84 yards?
I hope so. He cannot do worse than what he did, but I do believe that the Texans will still take this. In my opinion, the Texans are one of my favorites to come out of the AFC. Their receiving core is amazing.
Oh my God,
C.J. Stroud is amazing.
That's just cheating.
Joe Mixon,
cheating.
Proving why he's
is cheating. I don't even have to say I'm going Texans here.
That
roster is cheating. I mean, you're talking about Tank Dell, Nico Collins going for 117 last week. Stephon Diggs going for 86 and 2 touchdowns. Tank Dell went for a modest 45 yards, but still, he probably had a couple drops. He could probably have. That's just cheating, man. And you got Joe Mixon. So if you go man to man on the outside, cover 2, you can just give it the ball to Joe Mixon. He can just run up the middle. Like it's cheating.
You two mentioned their offense, but they have a good defense too. Will Anderson, Stingley, they have a phenomenal defense, and it's going to be tough for Williams to throw, especially at Energy Stadium on Sunday Night Football. I don't see Houston losing this game in any world.
Oh, yeah, no, the lights are going to be really bright, and it'll be really interesting to kind of see how Caleb reacts to the pressure and also the blanketed coverage from the Texans.
Yep.
Okay, now Bengals Chiefs.
Reading started, it's okay.
I know. Patriots beat the Bengals last week. I want to point that out to both of you that I said the Patriots are going to beat the Bengals last week, and both of you, I know the show didn't record, but I just want to say the Patriots beat the Bengals, like I said. Bengals Chiefs, I got Chiefs here. Bengals continue to struggle in their second week.
Even if the Bengals came out and absolutely destroyed the Patriots last week, I'm still taking the Chiefs here. The Chiefs are for many people, the Super Bowl favorite. I believe that the Chiefs, they have a great team. They did not play as amazingly as I thought they would week one, but they also were going against the Ravens. I think the Bengals, they're going to show why they're at the top of the AFC.
They call it Burrowhead, but not this time. Give me the Chiefs. The Bengals historically struggle in week 1 and 2 with Joe Burrow. He's 1-8 in week 1 and 2 combined. So give me the Chiefs here. I don't see anyone beating the Chiefs, even on their best day right now.
Zach Taylor's scheme requires 2 elite wide receivers. Mm-hmm. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Yep. All of their passing patterns include 2 elite wide receivers. Without Higgins, like I told my dad last week, double Jamar, you got nothing. Jamar in single-man coverage and man-on-man coverage with Christian Gonzalez, 3 catches for 14 yards. I think Jamar struggles here just because he's going to get doubled the entire game.
And on top of that, Jamar Chase is still trying to figure out his situation. I mean, they're still having off-field situations with him as well.
They've got to pay him.
They have to pay him.
Now they have to pay him after losing to the Patriots like that, in that fashion. Moving on, speaking of the Patriots, Seahawks Patriots. Give me the Patriots here. Give me the Patriots at home. We're going to keep it rolling 2-0, baby.
This is the most biased fan I've ever seen.
No, I'm a confident fan. I'm a confident fan.
Fair enough. I'm going to just say no once again. I say the Seahawks are going to take this one. I think the Seahawks, DK Metcalf, he was not playing too hot week 1. As a fantasy owner, please step it up. But he's still, in my opinion, a borderline elite receiver. He can be that. And I think that Geno Smith's going to have a good game. I think the game is going to be a lot closer than it may seem, but I'm still going to say Seahawks take it.
I'm saying the same thing. It's going to be closer than people think. I still have Seattle going into Foxborough winning this game, though. The Patriots are better than I may have thought originally, but not good enough at this moment in time. Give me Seattle to force New England to a 1-1 record.
Now we move on to my team. We're going to look at my Jets. Hopefully a bounce-back week. I'm going to say...
If Will Levis plays like that he did last week, then you're fine.
I'm going to say completely, even still unbiased, I got the Jets over the Titans. I do believe that Tony Pollard's going to have a pretty solid game because if we struggled against Jordan Mason, good Lord, Tony Pollard's going to be a problem.
But the O-lines are different, though. You have to...
Very true.
Trent Brown is a man made in Olympus. You could not get through that man.
Yeah.
And Mason just took advantage of running out that right side.
And I do think it'll be interesting to kind of see how our D-line works, but I think there is no world where our defense plays nearly as bad as they did that week. So give me the Jets.
Oh, you want me to go? All right, I'm going Jets here. Breece Hall runs all over them.
Wow.
Quick, simple, easy.
There has to be an upset pick somewhere, right?
Oh,
give me the Tennessee Titans. We'll revisit this next week when I get the win on this one. The Titans, Will Levis is going to have a bounce-back game. The Mayo Man is going to beat Aaron Rodgers in Tennessee. I don't trust the Jets yet. I don't trust Rodgers yet. He's not gotten into a full rhythm yet. I don't trust them quite yet.
Back.
Yeah, exactly.
In 2 years.
He's still 40 years old. He's older now. He's not as good as he used to be.
They said that about Brady, and Brady.
They're going to go into Nashville. They're going to struggle in the Titans.
Well, don't worry about the whole 0-2 thing. If we go 0-2, I won't be here next week. So, I mean, the problem, I think the Jets will be very interesting to kind of see what they can do in this game.